In the summer of 2025, something took place in a field in Israel that reportedly hadn't occurred in approximately 2,000 years. A red heifer was sacrificed. Religious leaders called it a sign. News outlets called it historic. Prophecy watchers around the world called it significant. But within weeks, something changed. An announcement was made that shifted everything people thought they knew about what happened. And what's reportedly unfolding now in Jerusalem may be even more noteworthy than the ceremony itself. Because while people debated whether that sacrifice met the requirements, preparations for something much bigger have quietly continued. Before we dive deeper, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. This channel covers the intersection of ancient prophecy and modern events. What's happening in Jerusalem right now is something you'll want to follow closely. So let's start with the basics. What exactly is a red heifer, and why does it capture so much attention? About 3,000 years ago, the book of Numbers, chapter 19, records a specific ritual. A completely red cow with no spots, no blemishes, and never used for work had to be sacrificed and burned. The ashes would be mixed with water to create a purification substance. According to Jewish tradition, this purification was required before anyone could enter the temple and approach God's presence. No red heifer meant no purification. No purification meant no temple service. But here's what makes this so unusual. Finding a perfectly red heifer is extremely rare. Over centuries, they became so uncommon that when the Second Temple was destroyed around 70 AD, the ritual stopped. For approximately 2,000 years, no verified red heifer ceremony took place. Jewish tradition indicates that only 9 red heifers were used throughout all of history. According to some interpretations, the 10th one would signal something significant regarding the Messiah and the rebuilding of the temple. That's why when red heifers were brought from Texas to Israel in 2022, many people took notice. These weren't ordinary cattle. To many observers, they represented pieces of a prophetic puzzle starting to come together. Religious Jews saw it as potentially divine timing. Many Christians saw it as connected to end times prophecy. For 3 years, these heifers were carefully watched and examined. One flaw or one wrong hair color could disqualify them from the ceremony. But something happened that not everyone expected. Reports indicate that in July 2025, a ceremony took place. The location wasn't Jerusalem, it was Shiloh, a town north of the city where ancient records say the tabernacle once stood for hundreds of years. Some religious authorities believed this location was appropriate. Others questioned whether it met the requirements. The discussion started before the ceremony even began. According to various accounts, the ceremony followed ancient instructions as closely as modern interpreters understood them. The heifer was led to an altar, prayers were recited, the sacrifice was performed, the animal was burned completely. Cedar wood, hyssop, and scarlet thread were reportedly added to the fire, matching biblical descriptions. News outlets ran headlines about the first such ceremony in approximately 2,000 years. Social media discussions intensified. Some celebrated it as a step toward prophetic fulfillment. Some viewed it with concern about what it might mean for the region. But not everyone agreed the ceremony was valid. Religious authorities immediately raised questions. Was Shiloh the correct location? Did the ceremony meet all traditional requirements? For several weeks, scholars and religious leaders offered different perspectives. Some called it a practice ceremony. Others believed it was significant. Then the Temple Institute reportedly made an announcement. According to their statement, the heifers were disqualified. The issue reportedly came down to details in the animal's appearance. According to traditional Jewish law, a red heifer must be completely red. Even a small number of hairs of a different color could disqualify it. When the heifers were examined, disqualifying features were reportedly found. What appeared to be a breakthrough became uncertain, but here's what's important to understand. The disqualification created different responses within the religious community. Some who follow only the Torah argued the ceremony might still be acceptable, since certain disqualification rules come from later rabbinical commentary rather than the original biblical text. Others, following traditional rabbinical interpretation, considered the ceremony incomplete.
So the search reportedly continues. Somewhere in the world, a perfectly qualifying heifer would need to be born, raised without any disqualifying marks, and brought to Israel. The timing remains unknown. It could take years. But while attention focused on the heifer situation, something else has been happening in Jerusalem, something that many prophecy watchers find equally significant.
Here's what many people don't realize. The Temple Institute in Jerusalem hasn't been waiting for a red heifer before preparing other elements. For decades, they've been creating everything else reportedly needed for temple service. And according to their documentation, they're substantially finished. Over 90 ritual items have reportedly been created, not replicas for display. According to those involved, these are functional, sacred objects built to biblical specifications. The high priest's breastplate with 12 precious stones, the golden crown, the special garments worn during temple service, priestly robes woven from specific materials, silver trumpets described in ancient texts, harps and lyres for musicians. Even the menorah, the 7-branched golden lampstand, has reportedly been crafted and stands ready. They've reportedly built an altar designed to be assembled quickly, not theoretical, an actual altar that could be put together in a short time. Men from priestly lineage are reportedly being trained right now. Classes on ancient rituals, temple service procedures, practices that haven't been performed in approximately 2 millennia. According to those involved, these aren't simply history lessons, they're preparation for actual service. Architectural blueprints reportedly exist, detailed plans based on Ezekiel's vision and historical records, specific measurements, room layouts, courtyard arrangements. According to many observers, most physical preparations are complete. What reportedly remains are 3 elements: the location, the political circumstances, and broader acceptance. But something has been shifting recently. Reports indicate that access to the Temple Mount has been gradually changing. More visitors are reportedly allowed. The numbers keep growing annually. Various political figures have made statements about coordination regarding Temple Mount access. Some describe it as not changing the traditional arrangement. Others see it differently. These aren't fringe discussions anymore. They involve organized groups with official representation. The situation is evolving, not in some distant theoretical future, right now. But there's one significant factor that remains unchanged, and it sits right on top of where many believe the temple should stand. The Dome of the Rock, a gold-domed structure built around 691 AD. It occupies the Temple Mount, in the area where many scholars believe the Jewish temple once stood. Nearby stands the Al-Aqsa Mosque, one of the holiest sites in Islam, the 3rd most sacred location in the Muslim world after Mecca and Medina. Both structures occupy the area where the 3rd temple would reportedly need to be built according to traditional interpretations. This isn't a minor consideration, this is the central challenge. Any attempt to alter these structures would create massive international tension. Hundreds of millions of Muslims worldwide consider this site sacred. Official positions maintain that the current arrangement won't change. Even as access patterns shift, the structures reportedly aren't going anywhere according to current policies. And there's discussion within Judaism itself. Many Orthodox rabbis believe the temple should only be rebuilt when the Messiah comes, not before. Some argue that human effort to force this goes against God's timing. According to this view, the temple will be built divinely, not politically. So the situation appears extremely complex, geopolitically sensitive, religiously debated even among those who anticipate the temple. The Heifer situation remains uncertain. The structures stand. Opposition exists. So if it seems so difficult, why do preparations continue? Why is access reportedly expanding? Why are priests still training? This is where biblical prophecy becomes relevant. Political interest is building. Religious preparation is reportedly complete. Prophetic expectations are converging on Jerusalem. The red heifer search continues. Somewhere in the world, another qualifying animal could be born. The timing remains unknown. Meanwhile, Temple Mount access reportedly expands. Priests continue training. The altar reportedly stands ready. The complex situation remains. The structures stand. International perspectives hold firm. But remarkable things have happened before in Jerusalem. In 1967, few anticipated the changes that would occur regarding the Temple Mount. So what should we take from all of this? First, these developments deserve thoughtful attention. They're documented preparations with potential prophetic significance. Second, for those who hold biblical faith, these developments should bring hope rather than anxiety. Scripture teaches that God remains sovereign over every nation, every leader, every circumstance. His plan moves forward exactly as He designed. Jesus told His followers to watch for signs, to recognize seasons, to stay alert. But He also said when we see these things beginning, we should look up. Why look up? Because redemption draws near. Luke chapter 21, verse 28. That's not a message of fear, it's a message of hope. Whatever unfolds on that mountain, Scripture teaches it all moves towards something beautiful. God's purposes advance toward restoration. His plan cannot be stopped by any obstacle. The preparations reportedly continue. Various factors position around Jerusalem. But the appropriate response isn't fear or anxiety. It's watchful hope, confident peace. Because everything points toward one incredible conclusion. The King is coming, and His kingdom will never end. If this video helped you understand what's happening, share it with someone who needs to hear this. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you catch what we cover next. Until then, keep watching, keep praying, keep looking up. The best is still ahead. Shalom.